Hello and welcome to the channel of Absolute Quality. Today I'm going to answer a monumental question for you. Should you get or retry Fallout 76? Now this is a very monumental question because of the entirety of the Wastelanders dropping and Fallout 76 releasing a pretty decent roadmap, considering a bunch of different things for the game and adding a bunch of different new features for the game. So I kind of wanted to make this video because a lot of videos that I've seen so far and a lot of articles that I've seen so far are saying that this game is 10,000 times better. It's so much better. It's so much better this. It's so much better that. Yes, but no. Yes, it's better because, there's NPCs. We have a little bit better cap economy. I know I make a lot more caps when I finish a bunch of different things. I personally am also a much higher level in this game now, so I get to enjoy a lot of the end game or the medium to end game stuff that I wasn't actually able to enjoy, previously when I was playing this game before. But this game actually did not get better in the terms or the sense of the core game did not change. I repeat, the core game did not change. So let's go ahead and talk about Fallout 76 and see if this game is for you. So I have 5 topics that I want to talk about. The first topic is going to be genre is not the same. The second topic is going to be, is it for solos, groups, or both? The third is the game approaching the 3rd year of availability. The fourth is the game. If you give the game a chance, give the game a chance. And then finally, for the 5th topic, we're going to be talking about the end game stuff. So the first topic that I want to talk about today is going to be the genre. The genre is not the same as Fallout 3, 4, and New Vegas. If you think this is the thing, it is very, very wrong. So first of all, Fallout 76 has a plethora of genres that the original Fallouts did not. So first of all, this game is an MMO. It's also an RPG. It's a survival. It's a looter shooter, and it's also a trading / stat builder type video game. So let's go ahead and talk about each of those individually, kind of say what this game is really all about. So the MMO version of this game is so much different than any other Fallout we have ever seen before. If you go into Fallout 76 expecting it to play like Fallout 3 or New Vegas or 4, you are somewhat right. You are about 50% right. Yes, the core game, in terms of it being a Fallout game, yeah, it's right. The wasteland, nukes, all that good stuff, super mutants, all that didn't change. But the problem is, the gameplay is much different compared to those games. The shooting aspect of everything's fine. It's still that first person / third person, however you want to play, shooting your weapon. It's very like a shooter, more than it is anything else. But it's an MMO now. There are people everywhere. There are players everywhere, all around your map. You spawn in. There's about 19, or I think there's 20 players can be in a world. I'm not sure on the exact number, but there are a lot more people in the world than there originally were, which was originally just one person. So there's a lot of different people in this game. 97% of these people are awesome and friendly. 97%. I say this because 97% of them are awesome. They give you stuff. They wave at you. They say hi, basically hello, with just some of the emotes that they get. 3% of these people are cheek lords. This is basically because of the fact I was doing a event with a whole bunch of different random people. I'm killing the Scorch Beast Queen, and this low level decided to shoot at me as I was just kind of looting after we killed the beast. And I was, minding my own business. He was shooting me. I was like, you know what? Maybe he's shooting something behind me. And so I was just kind of letting it go. I was just using some stim packs, just kind of letting him go. Then he pulled out a minigun on me and started actually hurting me. So then I had to obliterate him back. So I knocked him. I didn't kill him. I didn't want to kill him. But so I knocked him. But because he had this giant cheek lord army behind him, of much higher levels that were basically, Sherpa in him, like basically like bringing him to the high level areas. They all killed me after I knocked him. So, 3% of these people are going to be cheek lords, but most of the people you find are going to be awesome and they're going to be friendly. The RPG element of Fallout stays the same. It's a role-playing game. You literally, you pick how you look, you choose how you play, you choose what weapons and where you want to go, and it's a role-playing game. It's the same thing basically. The RPG elements did not change. Survival is a new thing for Fallout 76. For Fallout, this was a mechanic. If you played New Vegas or if you played Fallout 4, you'll know that there was a mode where you can turn on where you had to eat, where you had to sleep, where you had to drink water. This is forced in Fallout New Vegas. There is no changing the difficulty to get rid of having to eat food, and having to drink water. These things have to happen while you're playing. This is not just something where you can turn it down to easy and not have to worry about that stuff. This is very much so. There's no sleeping the nights away and getting HP back from it. There's no waiting. You kind of just it's a survival. You gotta worry about yourself. You gotta worry about disease. You gotta worry about mutations. There's a lot of things that you gotta worry about in this game. So there's no babying it. You do kind of got to worry about yourself as you're playing. This is also a looter shooter. If you are expecting Fallout 76 to be like the other Fallout games where you go into this random location and the further you get, the better loot you get out of containers, the better loot that you're going to be able to get from the end chest. I rarely find anything good in those end chests in this. They still exist. There's definitely still some loot chests in most of the locations that I find, but to finding good loot in those is very minimal. You're not going to find very many of those ever. It's just not really acceptable. So it's a looter shooter, by I mean. Most of the very good loot that you're going to be able to obtain is actually going to be from events, daily quests, and bullet sponge monsters. So you're gonna have to shoot some pretty hefty boys to get some of that good old loot that you want. So you're definitely gonna have to. It's a looter shooter. It's kind of like a Destiny game. It's kind of like what's the other Division 2. It's kind of like that game too. It's more of a looter and a shooter. You shoot things, you can get the loot. That's how it works. You get the good stuff from the big guys. So it's mostly how the loot is going to work in this game. It's also a trading / stat builder game. It's a trading aspect because a lot of the stuff costs caps. A lot of plans cost caps. You can't build anything without plans for it. So if you want to build combat armor, you need plans for the combat armor, and combat armor plans cost caps. So there are a lot of different currencies in this game that you need to build up that are all free. It's all in-game. It's not like you have to purchase these. And you can basically get these caps to buy decent things that you can make later on. So it's going to cost you a little money. It's going to cost you a little grind to grind up some of this stuff. Not real life money, in-game money, but that's how this trading system works. You can also trade to other people, which is kind of cool. It's also a stat builder, and this is basically the last thing, is that, you kind of have to pay attention to how you're putting yourself together, how you're building your character. If you're not paying attention to some of the smaller details, you may actually be in for a very crappy time playing Fallout 76. If you don't have a certain build with a certain weapon that you like to use, so say you like to use the minigun, if you don't have perks to help you use the minigun more effectively, you are going to hate the game because you're not going to be powerful. You're not going to kill very many things. It's going to suck. Trust me. So you definitely need to worry about what you're doing a lot with your stats, your perks, everything else, your bonuses, your buffs. You're going to have to kind of pay attention to some of the things you're doing in this video game. So in this first section, if any of these things turn you off, if any of them, if the survival part of this game turned you off, if the looter shooter part of this game turns you off, don't attempt to go back into Fallout 76 if you do not like those aspects. Those aspects did not change. They've been there since the very beginning of the game. All of this has been there since the very beginning of the game. So if you don't like this, this is just basically asking for yourself to hate the game even more because you don't like the first aspects of the game to begin with. Now, if you like some of this stuff, but you're still on the fence, I can talk about that a little bit later. But basically, it's not meant to be the same game as Fallout 4 or Fallout 3. It's not. It's really not supposed to be. It's not meant to be the same game. Let's move on to the second topic, because that first topic took way too dang long. The second topic is it for solos, groups, or for both? This game's actually awesome because it allows for all types of play. It's for solos and groups, trust me. There are a bunch of perks in the game that you can use to play by yourself and to play with others, and you can switch these. They're very modular, so you can switch these up when you're playing with people or when you're playing by yourself. I use this Lone Wanderer perk so that I'm actually able to play by myself all the time, but when my friends hop on, I could take that perk off and put on a few other ones, so maybe I boost XP for our group, maybe I boost healing for our group. there's a bunch of different ways to play, and you can play a lot of this game alone. I think most of this game you can play all by yourself. You don't need to worry about anybody with you. It's one of those games where you're not behind a wall of socialness. I know a lot of games put you behind a wall of social. So, some games you have to get like a raid team basically to do a raid, or you need to get like 4 or 5 people together so you can do this specific thing. You don't have to do that in Fallout 76. There are a lot of different things that you can do in this game, and most of it, or not all, or if not all of it, you can do by yourself. It's amazing. The third topic that I wanted to talk about today is the game is approaching its 3rd year of availability. So in November, I think November of this year, of 2020, it actually becomes the 3rd year that this game has been out. And I point this out because the main reason is that the developer is gaining good experience and good momentum for this video game. They just posted a picture of the roadmap, which I will put up on the video screen now for you specifically. So if you're looking at this roadmap right now, you can see there's a lot of cool changes that are going to be added to this video game. Two of the changes that I'm really excited for, or that I'm looking forward to, is going to be the legendary perks. Those sound really, really interesting to me, as well as the level scaling the entire world. They're going to level scale the entire world for you, so you're not restricted to certain areas. For me, I've been down in the Cranberry Bog, I've been down in the mire for now, but I wasn't able to really explore those places until I was like level 30 to 40, because I really wasn't doing enough damage to stay in those areas. A lot of those enemies are level 60, so it's a little bit difficult to be over there when you're low level. But this is actually going to change it, so you're actually going to be able to go anywhere and everything scales to you. So that's actually going to be really, really cool. I'm actually really excited about that aspect. But I do want to say this for this third topic, is that as this game is approaching its 3rd year of availability, a lot of people are going to start picking this game up, and a lot of people already have. So I would say just wait to buy your ticket for the hype train until you actually play the game, okay? Don't buy the ticket to the hype train from all these YouTubers that are saying this game is perfect now, it's much better. They play the game now because you need to get the game because it's better. You don't need to get this game unless you want to play this game. That's how you get any game, You don't want to get a game unless you're going to play it. So I would just say, just watch out. Maybe watch a few videos. Don't board the hype train. Just enjoy what you're seeing. And if you would like what you're seeing, hop in. That's all I'm saying. That is all I am saying. Okay, let's move on to topic number 4. So the 4th topic that I'm going to talk about today is, if you give the game a chance, give it a chance. A lot of players, and me included, I'm included in this pact. You start a game and you lose interest right away because it's either A, it's not fast-paced enough, or B, it's not powerful enough. Like, you don't feel powerful, you don't feel this and that. And, a lot of games I have played specifically, and I've played them for maybe 2 or 3 hours, and then I didn't like it, so I stopped playing. That's how it worked. I stopped playing the video game. And then I have come back to video games. So Fallout 76, to be honest, I didn't start playing this game heavily until back in March of this year. So 3 months ago. That's when I actually started playing Fallout 76 again. I played it a little bit at launch. I played it a little bit last year, and now I've played it now, and I fell in love again. So I actually gave it a chance. What I did was I actually leveled up to about 25. And at that point, I had experienced a few things that I really, really enjoyed. And so that actually made me want to play the game even more. And I've seen that with a lot of video games that I've played. So Stardew Valley is one of those video games. I bought it immediately. And I played it for 4 hours, and I never played it again until, a year later. And now there's, 40 parts on my channel. So basically, I would just say really give it a chance. If you really want a good experience, make it to level 25 like I did. And if by that point you get decent perks, you start to feel a little bit more powerful with the weapons you're using at level 25. That's kind of why I kind of kept on, because I know that all of a sudden I was starting to do big damage to enemies the same size, the same level as me. So it was really, really fun to do that. But basically, just, give it a chance, give it a good 25 levels if you're interested in the game. And if by that point you can't, immerse yourself anymore, it's not doing it for you, it's still not your style, you tried it at that point. You gave it a fighting chance. You gave it to level 25. You said, hey, I'm going to give this game a chance. And you should do this with any game that you play. Any game. If you're interested in a game and you want to play it until you have a good idea of how you're playing it. So basically, a lot of games I play, I try to play for at least like 15 to 20 hours, and then if I don't like it at that point, hop away, unless the game was free, and then at that point it's already paid for itself when I downloaded it. But yeah, if I pay for something, I like to justify it with a few hours. So basically just figure out exactly if it's for you. I would say for this game, play to level 25. Again, if it's still not what you want, you tried. That's all you can really hope for is you tried, and if it wasn't good, move on. The last thing that I want to talk about for this this video is going to be the end game stuff. I know a lot of players, so this is going to be mostly for players who are trying to retry the game. There's a lot of stuff to do now. With quests, with the Wastelander added a bunch of different quests. There's new factions that you can work with. There's new plans, and there's a new weapon type entirely. There's perks that added a completely new weapon type. But right now, to give you a little bit of context, I'm almost level 80, and I have not experienced everything, but I have experienced a lot. There's a lot of stuff that I have not experienced in this game. I am nowhere near to completing anything. There is, I just upgraded my level. I had level 25 excavator armor until level 75. And at level 75, I was like, you know what? Maybe we should upgrade to the highest level excavator armor at 45, just to get some more damage resistance. So basically, there's so much stuff and I'm so behind. I just find that there's not enough time to do all of the things in this game. There are so many quests now. There's so many locations to discover. There's so much plans and recipes. There's so many events. There's legendary loot, and the list just goes on. There is a lot of stuff for this game. And I may be biased a little bit because I'm kind of in love with the game currently, so I may be just a little bit biased, but there definitely is an end game. And with this roadmap that I showed you a little bit earlier, there are a few things on that roadmap that are actually going to make things a little bit more interesting for us late game players. And those are the things that I am looking forward to the most, because I will be part of the late game player base once that hits. Once these new things start hitting, I'm going to be level 100 or even more, and that at that point I'm definitely past level 50, which is about when you start hitting the middle to end game. Basically, I'm just excited for some of the end game. There's a bunch of new monsters that I haven't even fought yet, but there's a lot of monsters. There's a lot of loot to attain. It may not be perfect, and it may not be perfect. I may be biased yet again, but it's there. The end game is there. There's something for us end game players to do. You can drop nukes. You can enjoy some crafting recipes and stuff like that. But I have a feeling with the roadmap, things are going to get a lot better for us in terms of the late game ending. So kind of for my closing remarks, we talked about a few things. Just make sure you like the genre of this game. Don't get this game if you do not like the genre of it. This is much like Destiny 2, Division 2. It's a looter shooter. It's not necessarily going to be your Fallout 3 where you walk around, you level up to level 20, that's your max, and then you just basically become an OG god at that point. Or in Fallout 4, you can level up to level 100 and nothing challenges you anymore. Everything is a one tap with all of your really high level weapons. So it's not the same, and it's always not going to be the same. It's going to be different, but in an aspect of where it's still Fallout. So thank you guys for watching this episode. I hope you guys learned something. I hope you guys kind of give Fallout 76 a thought. I tried to stay very neutral during this whole thing and give you kind of the pros and cons of Fallout 76, and make sure that you actually enjoy the game before you buy it, or if you actually want to look at it, do some research before you go ahead and buy the game, or before you go ahead and hop back into the game, and save yourself a little piece in case you definitely don't enjoy the game. So thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you like some of the content, if you like this content, go ahead and check out the channel. If you like some of that content, maybe hit that subscribe button, and maybe I'll see you in the next episode.